G'day guys, have you ever found yourself wanting to know the answer to a particular question or wanting some advice on something when it comes to 40k and really struggling to get supportive and constructive feedback in the comments section? Well, today I'm going to show you a really quick and really powerful trick that's going to allow you to get massive amounts of very useful support from the internet of all places. So with that being said, let's get stuck into talking about Cunningham's Law.
Blog for the Blood God.
Blog for the Blood God exclusive high quality dice. Blog for the Blood God exclusive high quality dice. Blog for the Blood God exclusive high quality dice. Hi, I'm Dean Simbeck, President and CEO of Blog for the Blood God's exclusive high-quality dice warehouse and emporium. Due to a shipping error, I'm currently overstocked with Blog for the Blood God exclusive high-quality dice, and I'm passing the savings on to you! Roll 9-inch charges, pass invulnerable saves, roll high for damage, and score lots of hits. Check out the links in the description of this video to pick up your set today. Alrighty guys, Cunningham's Law is a really funny and really neat trick that you can use to turn people who historically would have trolled you on the internet to people who are going to support you. We've all been in Warhammer 40k groups, Discords, Reddit post threads, all of these sorts of things where you're just trying to get helpful advice. You're just like, how does this work? What's the best way to do this? And instead of getting helpful responses, because it's the internet and a lot of people are trolls, they just annoy you and heckle you in the comments, right? How could you not know this? And why don't you know that? And go away, tourist, and all of these sorts of things that are way too common on the internet. Well, Cunningham's Law is a really neat and funny way that you can essentially Uno reverse that technique. So let's have a look at it. Alrighty, Cunningham's Law is the principle that the best way to get the right answer on the internet is to post the wrong answer. It's named after Ward Cunningham, inventor of wiki software. Now, essentially what this is you create, instead of going, hey guys, which Chaos Space Marine unit has the best shooting profile into Necrons, right? Instead of asking that question, because if you ask that question, you're going to get a bunch of satirical responses, a bunch of negative responses, or you're just going to get no responses, right? Cunningham's Law dictates that the best way to do that is to say, hey guys, did you know that the best shooting unit into Necrons is Havocs, right? Because if you say that, you're going to get a whole bunch of people jump into the comment section and be like, you idiot, didn't you know it's Obliterators, right? And then you respond to them going, no, it's not. And then they're going to respond to that being like, yes, it is. Here's all of the evidence for why Obliterators are the best. This is why Obliterators are so much better into Necrons, right? And they're going to go do research. They're going to bring up points. They're going to bring up data. They're going to show you all of the reasons why Obliterators are the best. And now, not only do you know that Obliterators are the best, but you know exactly why in full detail. And it's all because that person's trying to prove you wrong. Whereas if you just asked, what's the best? That person's not going to go to that much effort to not only tell you what's the best, but explain why it's the best, and explain why the other options are subpar. That's a lot of work, and people aren't going to do a lot of work just to help out a random on the internet. That's not how the internet works, right? So if you use Cunningham's Law, you're going to be able to get these people to do all of this work for you without having to lift a finger, You might put in there saying, instead of saying, hey, I'm a World Eaters player, and I really struggle to kill Magnus, what's some tricks the World Eaters can use to kill Magnus, right? You can just put in there saying, 8-bound are the best way to kill Magnus as a World Eaters player, right? And then you're going to get a whole bunch of people go, no, 8-bound, the half damage really hurts them. They go from damage 2 to damage 1. And, they don't have enough attacks and their strength are too low. Like, obviously, if you're a World Eaters player and you want to kill Magnus, what you need is Khan the Betrayer in a unit of 10 Berserkers. Because that way, you can jump out of your transport, you can throw a grenade, which weakens him, you can shoot a couple plasma pistols, which weakens him, and then you can charge in, and because you're only 1 damage with most of your attacks, his half damage doesn't affect you, and because Khan the Betrayer has 3 damage, half of that goes to 2 because it's half rounding up, so he's minimally impacted. And then when Khan and the Berserkers go in, you can put +1 to wound on them, then you can be re-rolling 1s to hit and wound. That damage is enough to, on average dice, kill Magnus. So then you go, oh cool, now I know that. Whereas if you just said, hey, World Eaters play here, struggling to kill Magnus, what do? You're going to struggle. Now, obviously, this is a general rule. There's plenty of communities out there that are absolutely fantastic. The World Eaters community over on Discord is really, really good. And then also my Patreon community, not to sort of plug here, but my Patreon community is really, really helpful. There's a lot of people in there that are really, really good and are more than happy to jump in and give advice. So you can definitely find pockets of the internet that are very constructive and very helpful. But by and large, the internet is full of trolls and full of people that would rather watch you struggle and would rather argue with you than would rather help you. So knowing that, you can use Cunningham's law to basically take advantage of that. And you know that they would rather argue with you than help you. So make it so that the argument is helpful. And then you've just won, right? And you've weaponized, you've turned their trolling nature into something that works in your favor. So this is just, not only is it a really, really effective way of making people help you, but it is also really funny because you kind of feel like you're making them dance to your tune when you go in there and you say something that's, arguably wrong, and then you hear people just go, cool, here's why you're wrong, and they list all of the reasons. Another one could be, instead of saying, oh, which Chaos Space Marine detachment is the best, right? You're going to get a bunch of people go, oh, I'm not going to help this person. Whereas if you sit there and go, you know what, Fellhammer Siege Host is the best, you're going to get a whole bunch of people saying, no, Renegade Raiders is the best, and they're going to list all the reasons why. And then you're going to get a bunch of people going, no, Veterans of the Long War is the best, and list a whole bunch of reasons why. And now you've been presented all of the information you need to make a decision. Whereas if you just asked for help making the decision, you might struggle to get it. So that's a really, really neat trick. It's a lot of fun. At the very least, it's a good way to spend your Sunday afternoon, just going, oh, lol, I'm going to mess with these people and get them to sort of go do research for me and bring back the information. It's a lot of fun. It's very funny. And it's also really, really effective. And it solves that challenge that a lot of newer players have where they're trying to get advice and they're getting, negative responses online, which is, one of the drawbacks of the internet. The anonymity means that people are likely to give you that negative response. So either find a community full of absolute legends that you can jump into and get advice, or use Cunningham's law. So just wanted to share that with you guys. Nice quick video today. If you enjoyed that, let me know. I've got plenty of little tips and tricks like this. So if this is the sort of stuff you'd like to hear more of, some of these really almost life hacks, let me know, and I can maybe do a video series on these. Or if you'd rather just let's talk hard numbers and facts and talk data sheets and stratagems and combos and techniques and reviews of things, if that's more the speed, then, let me know. I just thought I'd throw this one out there as a bit of a tester and sort of test the waters. So hope you enjoyed that. If you did, feel free to head over to blogforthebloodgod.com to show your support for the channel. You can do that by picking up merchandise. We've got neoprene gaming mats, we've got objective markers, we've got dice, we've got apparel, t-shirts, we've got bags, we've got hoodies, we've got all sorts of stuff over there. And every time you buy some merchandise from there, I get a couple of bucks, which goes towards improving the quality of the cameras and the microphones and the lighting setup and, pay for the subscriptions to all of the programs that I need to use. None of that's free, so all of that stuff's very much appreciated. Or if you want to, you can check out the Patreon. That gets you access to our Discord, which is a free, once you get into the Patreon, it's a free service. You get all various benefits based on your levels. Higher levels, you get regular phone calls with me. We can talk strategy and tactics, or you can jump into the Discord and we can talk lists and things like that. Really, really cool stuff over there, and it's a Ripper community where you don't need to pull tricks like Cunningham's Law. We'll just actually help you if you actually have a question. So that's a great place where you can show your support as well, and hopefully that's going to get me to a point where I can stop working 45 hours a week in a warehouse and dedicate a little bit more time to producing more frequent videos, higher quality videos, and that would be something that I think everybody would benefit from. So if that's something you'd be interested in, check out the Patreon. It's a great way to show your support. And with that being said, I'm going to leave it here. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.
The Warhammer community suffers from some of the most prohibitively expensive essentials in the world. especially Australian content creators. Every single day, Dean wants to create content, but he can't. Suffering from old, worn-out brushes, expensive model kits, and costly software and equipment he can't endure much longer. Just look at this dirty paint water. Would you drink this? Would you let your child? Even a small monthly donation can help provide Dean with clean paint water, basic tools for survival, and access to life-saving information and education. So please, follow the links in the description below and find out how you can sponsor a mad cunt like Dean today and end the suffering. Suffering that is cruel